Silver was the #1 performing investment in 2020. It jumped nearly 170% from $11 in March to nearly $30. If you didn't watch my channel back then, I doubt you knew that it was the #1 performing investment because nobody talked about it. If it would have been gold or Tesla stocks or Amazon, there would have been news articles written left, right, up, down, front, center, and sideways. But silver, let's sweep it under the rug. Well, since then, not much has happened. Yes, there's been things pushing and pulling the price back and forth, but not much news until now. This is the biggest thing yet. Precious metals prices post best quarter since 2020. The main question though is what's next? So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. A lot of people are desensitized to the price of silver. For example, someone could have entered the market when silver was $11 in March. So now they see the price at 25 and they're like, hey, my investment has doubled. I'm making lots of money. Or someone could have entered at the $30 peak of the Wall Street silver rate and say, hey, my investment's in the red now. See how those two people could have completely different perspectives on the price? Well, you got to step outside of that because that is how you will get burnt when you have a stereotype type of bias opinion on the price if it's high or low right now, when at the end of the day it's extremely low. And if you think that $25 for an ounce of silver is pricey, then please exit right now. Now we need to look at what's happening with the price of silver. To put things in perspective even a little further, the average price of silver for the last 10 years was $15. $15. I've been making silver stacking videos on a daily basis since 2015 on this channel. Why you should subscribe, plus I'm doing a giveaway soon. But most of the time, these years I've been making videos, the price has been around $16. I remember the first time it broke through $20 in 2016, actually July 2016. $21 we celebrated. Now you guys would see $21 silver and freak out and panic. Sometimes you got to step outside of yourself and what you think the price is, or if it's high or not. But even further back, 10 years ago, silver was $50. Actually, silver was $50 twice in the last 40 years. 1980 and 2011, silver was $50. Nowadays, if I talk about $50 silver, it's like some myth, but it's actually very realistic, especially looking at what led silver to $50 back then. So anyways, I do want to jump into this article. First though, bullionmax.com/silverslayer will take you to an incredible deal. You will be getting 5 ounces of silver at below employee pricing, and honestly the best 5 ounces you'll be able to find for this price. A Type 2 Eagle, 2022 Kangaroo, a 2022 Britannia, a Buffalo Round, and a 1 ounce bar. And the reason this deal is so good is because these coins have really high premiums, but this starter kit basically makes it's like an order of 5 1 ounce coin or rounds. Basically, it's like paying the price of 5 generic rounds, but you get all these. Now, why are they doing this? Kind of like a promo thing, but it's only 1 per household. That's the catch. If not, people would be buying boatloads of this. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It's the best price. So take advantage of this. It's a starter kit. Every time starter kits come out, I always recommend them. It's a great way to get some silver, lower your dollar per ounce average. bullionmax.com/silverslayer. So as this news is coming out, as people are starting to see the price of silver kind of take back this poll, you're going to start seeing more articles like this come up as well. BMO upgrades gold and silver prices along with 19 other commodities. And what they mean by this is they're upgrading their forecast. They're actually saying, hey, this could be more bullish than we originally thought, which I think is going to happen more and more as well. A couple weeks ago, silver did a technical golden cross, which last time it did that, the following month, silver rose 60%. Now, it just did that a couple weeks ago. Does that mean that silver is going to jump 60% again? No, it doesn't guarantee that. It could, or it could jump 30%, or it could jump nothing. History doesn't always repeat itself to the exacts, but as an investor, you're supposed to use that information and tweak it into your favor, right? Gamblers throw money at the wall, hope it sticks, with the odds highly against them. Investors make strategic decisions based off information. We know this information. I cover it on a daily basis. So right now, it's looking like there's unprecedented disruption in global supply chains. Big, big, big thing to take note of. Anytime, even when this global situation started, right, all the borders were cut off. Mexico and Peru produce 40% of the global silver supply themselves, just those two countries alone. They got hit hard with the virus. So, noting that, they couldn't produce much silver. And even when the mines opened back up, there were safety regulations, so minimum employees were working, but also the boundaries and borders were cut off. So silver disruption was massive. You got to think about stuff like that. But this time, it's not from the global situation, it's from the Russia situation, right? So we have a completely different situation, but the same type of outcome. This created a historic environment for commodity markets. While prices are expected to go higher across the board, analysts at BMO Capital Markets argue that it might not be good. In its second quarter commodity outlook report, the Canadian bank said it was upward revised 21 out of 26 commodities. It revised their 2022 gold price by 8% and silver by 12%. This storm of supply disruptions, logistic issues, sanctions, financial short squeezes, and purchasing manager panic has been some of the most dramatic metals and bulk commodity price moves seen in history over the first quarter of 2022, analysts said in the report. And that's that's very exaggerated. Well, not exaggerated. They really, I guess, put power behind that wording. And I think it's actually, I could agree with them. If you want proof, the United States Mint sold 5 million ounces the first month of January this year. That is insane. That's record-breaking sales. Perth Mint and Royal Mint also said, "Hey, we're getting like hundreds of percent increase in sales right now for silver." So people are buying silver, but the supply disruptions, especially now with this, including throw the silver shortage on top of that, you could see how mints are going crazy right now trying to come up with these orders. Although BMO expects commodity prices to push higher in the near term, it could have negative long-term implications. They noted that commodity prices are now weighing on economic growth. The analysts said they have lowered their global production forecast to 1.1%, down from the previous estimate of 2.2% at the start of the year. Much of the past 2 years have been a positive fundamental trend, helping prices move higher on the back of supply, underinvestment, and recovering demand. While this break from the trend has been positive for prices, not even producers truly believe this is a good thing, with prices rising for the wrong reasons. Good point. Steady, managed prices rising are good for the industry value chain. However, history has shown that sharp gains can swiftly follow sharp falls. It's exactly what I was talking about in my last video. If silver just goes up, 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 it's going to crash, crash, crash. A correction needs to happen. Correction is actually correct. It's the correct thing to do. It's kind of contradicting. It needs to go down for it to go back up. But yes, if it just goes up to $50 without breaking at 30 and then 35 and then 32 and then 29 and then 34 and then 37 and then 30, if it doesn't do that, if it just goes up, then that's overbought territory, extreme overbought territory, and then it's going to crash, and it's going to take twice as long for it to even get back to that original level. If you want a perfect example, look at Bitcoin. It went from like $1,500 to $16,000 in like 5 or 6 months in 2016. But then it crashed, and it took 5 years later to recover. That was in 2016. From 2017, 2018, and 2019, all the way to 2020, Bitcoin was dead. Bitcoin was nothing because it had such an extreme rally, so much overbought territory that there was no stability at $10,000 or 11 or 12,000. So we need the same thing to happen with silver. If it breaks above $30 and it goes straight to 40, it's gonna correct back down to 30, low 30s for a long time. If it goes to 30 and then 32 and then 29 and then 34 and then 32 and then 36 and then 33 and then, if it does that and it's building stability gradually, then yes, it could stay there. But if it just goes straight up, we're done for. And that's what they're saying right here. It's going up for the wrong reasons, and sharp gains can swiftly be followed by sharp falls. Tail risk to demand are clearly rising, whether geopolitical, financial, or simply down to the disruptive impact of inflation or global consumer behavior and confidence in governments, all which bear close scrutiny over the coming months. A lot of good stuff here, folks. While BMO analysts are bullish on gold and silver through the rest of the year, they also warn investors that precious metals will be at the mercy of central bank policies. BMO economists expect the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates by 50 basis points at the next two meetings. Those rate hikes will be followed by 25 basis point moves at each meeting through the rest of the year. This is another important part. Not only is it important of what they do, what's even more important is what people think they're going to do before they even do it. The speculation, the speculative aspect. When, like this article just says, they expect the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates by 50 basis points. So people are expecting this to happen. We don't know for sure, but people are investing as if it's going to happen. But what happens if we get there and it's not a 50 basis point cut? What if it's 25? And then the markets, after the real information comes out, will then correct back. But people can get burnt just from the assuming part, and that always happens. Then, the days before the meeting comes out, markets are crazy. Then they say what's actually going to happen, and then the markets kind of normalize, if you see what I'm saying. And that's why you got to be careful if you're someone who's marginal trading or even just trying to find entry or exit points. Just buy it and hold it. Buy some silver, throw it in your safe, hold on to it for 2 decades, 3 decades, and you're golden. You don't got to make it more confusing than it is, folks. The aggressive monetary policy tightening would push midpoint interest rates to 2.375% by December. The analyst said that the central banks are clearly focusing on fighting inflation. However, BMO analysts also said that economic risks are rising, with a European recession in the second half of the year, all but given in our new view, with U.S. bond markets flashing recessionary signals. And because of rising inflation, BMO expects gold prices to average the year with around $1,895 an ounce. That's up from the previous estimate of $1,751. And they're saying that gold prices could average in 2023 around $1,750, up 9%. And then looking at silver, the Canadian bank sees prices averaging around $24.50 an ounce this year, up from the previous estimates of $21.80 an ounce. And that's the analyst 2020 forecast, which was revised from to $22.50, up 2%. So you can see that's actually a nice big swing up. They said they're seeing it averaging $24.50, and then their previous estimate was $21.50. The bullish revisions come as gold prices remain strong uptrend, and that's a look to test the resistance at $1,950 an ounce, and that June gold futures traded at $1,946 an ounce, up 30% or up 38% on the day. So I mean, as you can see, prices are starting to do some things. Now, since it's silver and gold, it's not going to be doing things like crypto where it's astronomical or it's a huge rally or percentage wise. It's not supposed to, though. Why? Because it has intrinsic value. Supply and demand also play a factor. That's why it's called a safe haven. That's why silver and gold is so safe, because prices can't just be manipulated or pumped or moved crazy percentages or percentage points from speculation, or just because someone says a rumor or something. That's why precious metals are safe, because there's also some fundamentals that go into the price stability of it. And that's why I always say I hate that speculation word that's been creeping more into the silver world as times progress. That's just how we just have to learn how to adjust and adapt to that, though. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, if you want to check out the best silver deal online right now, bullionmax.com/silverslayer. It's going to take you to the starter kit. Highly recommend you get it. Only one per household. I actually just unboxed it a couple days ago on my channel. If you want to go look at me unboxing these coins, you're actually going to receive, it's pretty cool. My favorite is probably the Type 2 Eagle, but this 1 ounce bar was actually really big. It's thinner, so the bar is wider. Like the bar is as long as the coin. It's really interesting. Usually when I see 1 ounce bars, they're really tiny, but that 1 ounce bar is like, it's pretty cool. So, and the Britannias are beautiful as well. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.